Oh my gosh, going live, finally. I gotta stop drinking coffee late at night. I think that's probably not a good idea. So welcome to Coffee Code and Chat. And if you're just joining us, my name is Paul. I run a channel called Coding After 30, where I help you switch careers late in your life into web development. If you're wondering about me, that's exactly what I did. And so I try to share my tips that have been really helpful. And before people get too far, I just want to say it's not as easy as a lot of people make it out. So the point of this channel is to talk about the reality of switching careers. So welcome. And today we're going to talk about a couple of resources that I like. And to be honest, I haven't been using them before, but I talked to a lot of people that have, and I just realized that was my mistake of preventing me from actually focusing on building than being stuck in tutorial hell. And let me tune down the music a little bit. And so I wanted to spend this time to share those resources, and at the same time to see and open up conversation. If people have questions, welcome to chat about and talk about them. I'm also trying something different in my streams, is where I'm only allowing people that are subscribed to leave comments. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I wanted to think that, at least for the live streams, I think it's the things that I do for the community, for people who are already members. And I think I want to have that benefit. So for people who are subscribers to be able to take part in conversation, where if I do videos, the videos, anybody could comment. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm going to try it out for the next couple of months, see how it affects things. But I do want the streams to be more subscriber specific, I feel like. And maybe I'm wrong, but we'll give it a try, see what happens. And so today we're going to take a look at a couple of different things and that help you level up your skills and help you build experience by helping you not get stuck in tutorial hell. And I'm gonna see here, Sharon, what's up? How are you today? Thank you for joining. Yeah, I had to do a different time today. I made a habit of drinking too much coffee during the Friday night stream because it's called Coffee Code and Chat, but I should probably drink decaf. And so I had really hard time falling asleep last night. But today we're going to talk about some helpful resources that could help you stay out of tutorial hell. And, and if you have any questions, you could always ask and let me know in the chat. Anyway, and I hope everybody's doing great. Let me know how everybody's doing. And welcome. And so we're going to get started. And another format I'm trying. So I have music usually playing in the background. And I realized that maybe it's okay to do it when I'm just randomly generally talking about stuff. But when I'm showing and screen sharing or doing things like that, maybe not having music is helpful. That's something I'm going to try today as well and see how it goes. And what's up, MC Rodriguez? And I did get your email. I didn't have time to respond. I actually couldn't fall asleep last night due to heavy coffee drinking probably. And so I saw the email. I didn't respond because I was trying to fall asleep, or wake up this morning. I literally woke up 10 minutes ago, hopped into a shower real quick, and I'm like, gotta do the stream. So I gotta switch and fix my schedule so I could make it to my 11 a.m. streams. But today we're gonna talk about two cool places that I found that I wish I used when I was working on learning to code, because I feel like it would have gave me experience way faster. And so those are the things that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to showcase two sites, and we're going to kind of review the process and see how things work and how cool they are. And one, I believe, is absolutely free. The other one has a free tier, but then also has a pro plan. I think it's at $8 a month, and then the pro plan, it's at $12 a month. So let me share my screen here. So the first website we're going to take a look at, and this is called reactplay.io. I'll share it in the chat here. And the great part about this, it's absolutely free, really good place for you to work on working together with other developers, and we'll dive deep into it in a little bit. And then the second thing I'm going to show you is another cool place that I wish I discovered called Front-End Mentors, where you improve your front-end coding skills by building real projects. That's exactly what they say here. And I feel like this is a really, really good place. And this is the one that has a paid option. And you could do it month to month. You could pay for the year. And you like it with GitHub. But we'll take a look. And we'll start with the super free one first, React Play. The person that does this website, he has been on our website. And let me just say hello. Sahid, what's up? Thank you for sharing your knowledge. No, thank you for being here. Really appreciate everybody. And Matthias, I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. Hello, welcome to have you here. And so I had one of the founders of this project on my channel. It was a really good interview, and I really liked the concept. So React Play is an open source platform to learn, create, and share React.js projects with the developers community. Start by browsing the place to explore the source code. And one of the reasons why I like this is because it allows you to build something cool and have a community where people could look at your code, look at your thing. And I just realized my camera froze. So the fix for this is going to be terrible. I'll be right back for a second. And let me fix my... Right now, you should see my YouTube thing that happens. And that's kind of unfortunate. And I think my cats, they really like really playing with my setup, and they like to hit the wires under the table. But we are back, so no big deal. It only takes a second to fix it. But anyway, like I was saying, we're going to start with React Play. And like I said, the best part about it is that you become part of a community that, my gosh, I'm like breaking my stream like super hardcore, which is kind of pretty obnoxious right now. So, which I didn't even know I could break it while doing the stream. But anyway, let me switch to this screen while I get the screen sharing fixed again. So, the idea is we're going to take a look at how the website works, why you should do it, and cool things. And let me quickly fix my screen sharing. And and yeah, sometimes I have technical difficulties. And Richard saying, hey, Paul, I just got no freaking jump right in. I have but one question. Few of your thoughts on ChatGPT and how could it help new developers? Yeah, I'll talk about it in a little bit. Or I could, right now I'm trying to figure out why and how did I break something in my life. Like I can't share my screen now. Let's take a look here. Share screen. Wow, like I just learned a new thing about my application, and that is that you could lock your screen, but you could still break things, which is not supposed to be so. But anyway, we digress. So we're going to talk about React Play. We're going to talk about front-end mentors. So let me quickly ask Richard's question first before jumping into the topic, because I think it's a good one. So a lot of people worry about like Copilot, the ChatGPT, that it's going to take all the jobs. But what you must realize, first of all, for all those things, you are providing prompts to get an answer. So when I look at GPT-3, when I look at Copilot, what I really look at it as a more refined way to Google things and find solutions. It's not going to do your job for you. So the one thing that I say to people, when you see these AI-powered tools, you shouldn't be scared of them, but you should embrace them and understand how they work and how they could help you to become a better developer. So in my mind, and I truly stand by this, AI is not going to replace developers. But developers that are not embracing AI as a tool to help them be more productive and more efficient, they're not going to do as well in this new place that we're going. And we're not even there yet. It's going to take some time. We're just hitting the surface. So what I would say is continue learn programming and experiment with the AI tools that you have available. And I use Copilot. And by the way, none of those tools could build the websites or projects for you. They could just answer specific questions and give you the response. And this is why I'm not worried about AI-powered tools. I'm instead more excited because what I'm happy is that I'm going to have a tool that's going to allow me to continue to code, be productive. And so, like I was saying, none of those AI tools build projects from scratch. They're not able to go have a team meeting. They're not able to talk to, clients. They're not able to get requirements from people on what you need to do. They're not going to have that back and forth conversation. All they do is they take a prompt and they return the result. So moving forward, embrace the tooling and try to become really good at becoming very efficient in producing code by using these tools. And the caveat's going to be is if it returns a response that you don't understand or have never seen, spend the time to do the research, spend the time to learn what the response was. And so that is my view. And Richard, no, you're welcome. Thank you. We'll watch later. All the best and have been with you since the first episode of Power Hour. You are the greatest inspirational content creator. Man, Richard, that means so much to me. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. And yeah, do I need a 5-minute break? I think I need like another vacation from myself and drinking coffee. So let's get back to it. I think I figured out my screen sharing situation. And there's one more thing I have to fix, which is very exciting, and that's not it. Let's see here. It's hilarious. It's hilarious that I still don't know how to use my own software that I use for streaming, but I guess you learn on the job. So we're back in live, and we're going to talk about React Play. It's a really cool website. I did interview one of the founders of the project who came up with the idea. It's pretty awesome. And so what you're able to do, let's first start with browsing projects. So what's awesome is you're able to create these React front-end projects and people able to check them out, see the examples. And what I like about it, gives you a place to start taking things. Maybe it's not a full portfolio project that you're building, but it provides a space for a project for you, place for you to share little things that you're building and working and start having conversation with it, with the community. And what I want to do before jumping in, because we could create, let's see what it says. And okay, here's the process to help us learn. And so I'm doing this for the very first time. So I actually haven't done this. And so this is exciting for me as well. But, and at any time, if you have questions about anything, let me know. And this documents help you with the first few steps to create a play. And that's what they call their project in React Play. You will find details of how to submit your play code for review. And this is the part that I really love about it, is that, and that is amazing because it's open source. It has bunch of contributors, and let's go back to the site because the way I learn about it, it's through Engine Boy. He's here he is. He's one of the contributors, and these are the folks. And by the way, this is another great way you could become a contributor and you could help review other people's projects submitted, give feedback. And so this is another way to improve your skills by giving feedback and code. And so I need to become a contributor as well. I think it'll be a really good, and obviously, and let me go on GitHub. Let me double check. Oh, I already starred them, but man, they got 560 stars on GitHub. And so the whole idea, it's like learn, create, and socialize. And what I like about this particular project is the socialize aspect, because you get to share your place with a community. And this is the best way of getting feedback and kind of promoting yourself out there. So a lot of people like, how do I show the world that I'm a developer? Well, you participate in projects like React Play and you build things and you share them with the community. And the best part about it, you are not doing a tutorial, but you're practicing creating things from scratch. And I think this is very awesome. And so learn, create, and socialize. I love that about it. We got lots of ideas. Let's get started with some ideas. And I like the fact that you have these ideas, and you're able to start a discussion about these ideas. And so start a discussion, and you can create a discussion on GitHub, and people could talk to you about it. And I think that social aspect of it is really, really cool. And this is something that I want to integrate and something that I'm building, this community aspect of things. And this is really awesome. You could add an idea, right? You could create a play, and this is really cool. So let's take a look here. This time helps you with steps to create and play, create some plays, run the application using Yarn Start. So no, the steps will assume that you have forked and cloned the React Play repository. Also, you have to install dependencies. So there's a little bit setup on, but no big deal. So clone the React Play repository, and you could run it. You should be able to access the application localhost 30, and then you could create button. You will get authenticated, and then you could start building things. And then you could start creating your application here by using npx create react play.latest, the name of your play, and then you could start building. That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll make I will make a video, a separate tutorial on how to start a React play. I think that's really awesome. And so this is so cool because a lot of people, they just do tutorials. They never stop with tutorials. And the point is here, it's now you have a place where you're able to actually code. And the best part about it, when you submit your play, it's not getting posted here. It just isn't, which is a good part because they're going to review your play. They're going to do pull requests. They're going to give you feedback on your code. And I love that. And that's done by the community, by the contributors of React Play. And this is awesome. And if you're looking to see how to get involved, just become a contributor. Check it out. You could follow them on GitHub. What I'll do is I'll share their GitHub link here in the chat. And I'll also share their Twitter if you want to follow this project. And I think this is really, really cool. So I have one more resource to share, and then we could chat about anything else. And I'll chat about some of the other resources I use for learning to code. But let me share their Twitter so you could check it out. And that is fantastic. Okay, so here we go. Share the, and share. Oh, I'm sharing all these sites that I forgot to share. And nice. So we're working, making progress. Fantastic. The next one I want to show you, and this is the one that I really wanted to showcase for you, because what I like about React Play, this is more of like smaller project, something you could build like really quickly, or maybe not quickly. You could make complex projects as well, but it's little Lego blocks, little pieces of certain things that I would think about, like React Plays. And then that's cool. But another place that I like that actually follows a very cool process, and we're going to take a look at it, is front-end mentors. And let me close these unnecessary windows here. And so front-end mentors, it's improve your front-end coding skills by building React project. You could log in by GitHub. They have, of course, their free tier, and you could choose your challenge. Start the challenge, download all the starter files. And what I love about it is that they literally follow a similar process that you would follow when you're working at a job. You're going to get requirements, you're going to get a mock-up, and you're going to start building that thing. And then you get to post your solution on a platform for everyone to see and get feedback. And this is another part that I love, is that you are able to get feedback. If you're coding in a silo and you're not getting feedback, you're literally just using your brain. The beauty of coding, and this is why I code live on Fridays. This is why I share a lot of the things that I'm doing live on Twitter, or on Twitter at least, because the idea is that I don't want to be the only one coding. If I'm doing something wrong, I want people to give me feedback. And so this is kind of what I've been focusing on, is to make sure that I'm trying to leverage social media, the community. There's plenty of communities that people could join. I have a community that I had a lot of bad stuff happen to me in my life this year, very terrible. So I took a break, but I still have the community. I'm going to come back to it strong starting new year. If you're interested, you could email me at codingafter30@gmail.com, share like your GitHub link, and I'll add you to it. But I do have it. I was going to show it to you, but I don't want to jump around too much. But that's the cool part, is you're talking to other people in the community and helping them out. And thinking critically about other people's code is a crucial skill. And this is absolutely true. And help others while deepening your knowledge by giving feedback and solution. I think I'm going to, I already purchased the Pro, but what I'm going to show you their different, I'm already a member. I'm already logged in. Damn it. But the pricing is basically, it's free. Of course, you have some limitations. Then you have a $8 a month price point, and then you have $12 a month that I did. And of course, you could cancel anytime. And here's the cool thing. They have projects based on levels, like intermediate, junior, advanced, intermediate. And so one great place for all of you would be is to work on solving junior questions. And we'll take a look at one of them. And to get a good feel, like, are you ready for entry-level position as a front-end developer? And so if you're having a hard time solving these challenges, and especially junior, then you kind of could tell where you are. And what I would say is start setting a goal to get to a point where you're not only able to sell the junior challenges, but also the intermediate challenges. And you could view all the other challenges that they have. And I think this is really cool. And what is really awesome about this, and I can't stress this enough, is that you're not in tutorial hell. You're literally following the process of what it is like to work in a real life. Is you get requirements for the project, you start building the project, you do PRs, and this is their aspect of when you share your solution, you're gonna have people give you feedback. And I love this about it. And this is another feature like I wanna implement in something that I'm building for my community, because I don't wanna just have a YouTube channel where I just talk. I wanna build something that is useful for you. So that's what I'm building on my Friday live streams. I'm building this project called devhunt.io. And it's work in progress. A lot of stuff needs to happen. This resource page is not really hooked up yet. We have some basic projects that I'm using to test. You'll be able to log in. We have user John Wick here. And the idea here, John Wick, I spelled it wrong, of course. You'll be able to log in. And the whole idea here is for you to be able to add projects. You're going to have like a dashboard where you're able to manage project. A lot of it is still in progress. So this is John Wick's projects. There's a couple of different other projects that we have available. You'll have tasks that you could assign that you're like working on, and you could actually share it with people that follow your project. So you have this communal approach where you're able to pair program with others. You'll be able to add notes. Right now, this is hard-coded. I didn't deploy it. I did change this where you're able to create notes and stuff. You're going to be able to lead comments. Again, this is section. I'm still testing things out, but it's work in progress. But the idea is you don't have to wait for me to finish my project. You have these cool places like frontmentor.io, reactplay.io to work on. And so let's take a look, because I'm like really curious, what is the process? Let's start with the newbie project. So let's build a skill e-learning landing page, and we're going to click on it. And so, okay, this is a pro one. Let me go find a free one. I'll show the pro one here to see what are the differences are. And I think the only difference between pro and free is just that there are things that are only pro and you won't have access to them. So let's take a look at this free one, and then we'll take a look at the premium one. And maybe it's just the amount of work that you do. This one looks kind of yeah, let's start with this one, free. Product preview card component. So, okay, I see it right away what stands out. The difference here between free and pro is that you get the Figma design files. And we'll take a look, because I do have a pro account. And so let's see, starts challenge. Okay, I need to log in. When I log in, it's going to open in a pro account, whatever. But we know that it's the Figma files that we're going to get. So now I do get access to the Figma files. And so here's the cool part. This is the best part about this. I can't stress this enough about this service, is that you get a brief. And this is like at work, someone telling you the requirement of what you should build. And let me zoom in a little bit. And so you get a brief, and here's the very basic brief. It says your challenge is to build a product preview and component and get it looking as close to the design as possible. You can use any tools you like to help you complete the challenge. So if you've got something you like to practice, feel free to give it a go. And you could literally set requirements for yourself. I'm only going to use HTML and CSS and JavaScript, or I'm only going to use HTML, CSS within like a React project. You know what I mean? Or Next.js, whatever it is that you want. And I like that. And the user should be able to see the optimal layout depending on device screen size. So you do have to make it responsible. You hover over and show focus states for interactive elements. You could, they should be able to download the project and go through the README file, which I think is very important to be able to document the projects that you build for users to understand what they're looking at, what you did, and really awesome. And if want some support on challenges, you could join the Slack community, which I'm going to do off screen later. And so to get started, download the starter code, set up the project with version control and Git, get colors, fonts, etc. from styleguide.md file, and ideas to test yourself. This is pretty awesome. And then you have all these Q&As to help you better understand what you need to do. That is really cool. So let's start this challenge. I'm not going to do this challenge right now, but I am going to download the starter so we could take a look at what it is. I'm going to do Figma and see what we get, just to get an idea for us. Okay, I don't have Figma installed, so let me move this to the desktop, because I started using my different computer. So let me quickly do this. Figma.com, log in with coding F30. Sure, that works for me. And new design file. Okay, I'm not a Figma expert, so this is good news that we could also start learning Figma. And this is more important for designers. I typically don't use Figma and stuff like this. Why? Because I'm not a designer, I'm a developer. So I use Figma from the standpoint of, let me see the mockups and the UI that I have to build. Also, I do want to download Figma actually to my computer. That would be nice, because I love web apps, but I also enjoy having things on my computer. Figma.com. Let's see here. No, because I'm logged in. Log out. Okay. Company, community, pricing, enterprise products. Downloads. Nice. Desktop app for Mac OS. That sounds good. And so, yeah, and like I was saying, this is the cool part about Front Mentors. And while I'm downloading Figma here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at some more projects here. But this is so cool. So Front-End Mentors allows you to, it's literally the cure for not being stuck in tutorial hell. And if you haven't been using Front-End Mentors, which I wish I did, I haven't done it. I'm going to start using it. I'm going to start sharing, like on YouTube, videos of things that I built, just to kind of build more excitement around it. Because to me, this is the cure for tutorial hell, because literally you get, like, let's take a look at more challenges here. We'll come back. And let's take a look at another challenge here. Let's take a look at this junior challenge. Click here, go. And again, the part that I like about it is that you get the brief of kind of telling you what you need to do. You get the Figma files that you need to kind of formulate your plan. And what I love about it is a lot of people, when you're building, let me do a little rant here with some music on. So when you are building, man, I'm like, my cat is here and she wants to be pet, but she always turns off my camera, so I hope she's okay here. But anyway, a different spot for her. So the part that I'm like really excited about, Front Mentors. Here's the issue whenever you are working on tutorials from Udemy or any other tutorial. The design, the thought process the architecture of the app is done for you. All you're really doing is you following and building the thing that the instructor already built for you and the problems they already solved. So you're never ever running into your own problems. And that's a shame, because that's not how you become a better developer. The way you become a better developer is struggling through issues that you run into. And this is why I live code every Friday at 9 p.m. CST time, because I do run into issues, I do fail, and I want to show that that's a normal part of development. And that's a good question. Yeah, so he says Premium has also more projects to do, and is there any front-end mentor alternatives? And that's a good question. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I will save it for later and I'll do some research. And by the way, if anybody knows in the comments if there's an alternative, share it in the chat. And if you find out later, like through Googling, also come back and let us know, because I think this will be great to do. But yeah, but they do have their free option. So if you like really don't want to pay or can't pay, because a lot of people live in different countries where the financial situation is completely different, start with their free projects and just start working on those first. And the point that I'm saying here is that they're really following the process of the way you would be doing things at work, where people will give you requirements, give you a brief, give you the mockups, and set you on your way to building things. And tutorials just don't do this. And this is why I say everybody should be getting out of tutorial hell as fast as possible. I wasted like almost 2-3 years of being stuck in tutorial hell. Really hurt me switching jobs. I literally started to code like seriously around 36, but I was coding on and off before that. But I seriously coding from 36. I got my first job at the beginning when I turned 39, and I'm 42 now. And so this kind of like wasted effort of being stuck in the tutorial hell is like a real legitimate issue. And this is why I really wanted to showcase this project here, or this website, I should say, to kind of be like, hey, stop getting stuck in tutorial hell. Get out there, join front-end mentors. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by them. And so maybe one day I'll have sponsorships, whatever. But I'm just sharing you things that I really find value. So I had a guest that came on, and she really uses this to help her hone her skills as a developer while she's trying to get hired. And I think that is a great idea. So I wanted to share that with you. And let me install Figma here just so I could take a look at what the Figma files look like that we get provided to us from front-end mentors. Okay, so let me installing. Okay, sounds great. Okay, so I think it should be installed. So I should, God damn it. What is happening? What is happening with my computer today? Figma, move Figma here. Oh God. This is like a really rough Saturday night stream, morning stream. And you could tell like I didn't sleep much last night. I did sleep enough because I did. Okay, I got it. I got it. All good in the neighborhood, I think. Figma is installed. Should be installed. All right. So you see, I struggle all the time. And this is good that I show my struggles, because here's the thing that I want to share with everybody coming back while we continue to install, because I apparently didn't do it right, is that whenever you're learning to code, it's never a very simple path where things are just all like unicorns and sunshine. The whole idea is that you are going to be struggling through the process. And what I want, and why I do these streams, and why sometimes they seem unprofessional, or why sometimes I write code and it fails and blows up, it's because that's the reality of coding. That's the reality of learning to code, is that you're going to be struggling, and your superpower as a developer is to be able to solve those problems yourself. And the only way you learn to do that is by running into those issues and then by solving them. And if you get stuck, guess what? It's not a tutorial that's going to help you, but it's going to look into documentation, searching things online and doing all that other stuff to find the solution, and that's the only way you get better. And so if a lot of you're like, hey, I'm stuck in tutorial hell, but I keep doing tutorials, I can't stop myself, what you need to do is to be like, oh, what I need to do is actually start building stuff from scratch. And so a lot of times people don't know where to start, and so using front-end mentors is a really good way to do that. And that's why I wish I should have used front-end mentors and learned about it and discovered it much earlier. And I'm having issues with opening the Figma file on my computer when it's installed. What are you doing, MacBook Pro? What are you doing? So anyway, let's take a look at the chat. Okay, a little quiet. It's good. It's all good. I'm enjoying my Saturday. By the way, everyone who's watching, thank you for stopping by. I love all of you. Sometimes we have technical difficulties, which I'm okay with. You're watching Coffee Coding Chat. So welcome. And if you're wondering who I am literally a random dude on the internet that started learning to code in my mid-30s, made so many mistakes that I wasted a lot of time, so I didn't get my job until the age of 39. So I started to seriously dive into code at 36. I was coding a little bit on and off prior to that, but at 39, I got my first job. I'm now 42. And Devzilla, what's up? New subscriber. Welcome to the chat. And by the way, a lot of people actually nobody asked me this, but one person asked me this. How come you make your streams to subscribers only? And so this is the way I look at it. And by the way, I stream Friday nights, 9 p.m. CST time, which is, and I should probably add, oh, I did put US Central, good. Which is all about live coding and failing to show you the fact that when you're live coding on your own, it's not all flowers and unicorns. There's always struggle. The pain is real, but it's okay. And that's the part you should be excited about. And so I stream live. I don't prepare anything I stream ever, because I want to see the most authentic presentation of what I'm doing, so you understand and see that it's perfectly fine to get stuck, to have challenges, to have a hard time with things. It's perfectly fine, right? And so don't worry about it. And usually Saturdays I stream 11 a.m. Last night I drank too much coffee, which I can't stop drinking, and so I moved this one to a later date today. And I know we asked about, is there any front end? Okay, and then Northern Chim, what's up? I like how he's like, cool name, Devzilla, a new subscriber, fantastic. And Northern Chim, hello, how are you today? We were talking about using front-end mentors to be able to get like your cure. Literally, your cure for tutorial hell is front-end mentors. And if anybody knows any front-end mentor alternatives, definitely let me know. And so right now I'm trying to figure out what is happening with my Figma installation. Leave it to Adobe. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Adobe, I know they purchased it and acquired it. They're not going to break it yet, but maybe I'll give it 2 years. Figma, new windows, blah, blah, blah. Figma, services, edit, view. So I should have probably figured out how to use you know what? It's too early for me today. Northern Jim, don't worry if you missed a bit of the stream. We still talked about it, and I'll keep reiterating and reviewing what we talked about for sure. So I'll do that. Let me go back to my screen share. And I'm also trying a new thing when I'm sharing my screen, not have the music to interrupt what I'm saying. So we downloaded a fig this. So let me open this. And while this is opening, let me kind of go back here and take a look. So I've been talking about this service called Front-End Mentors, and I talked also about React Play, which is another great place to get involved to help to be your cure for tutorial hell. So the cool part about Front-End Mentors, let me log out for a second here, is that you can work on building real projects. So their whole tagline is improve your front-end coding skills by building real projects. And I like that. And they have a bunch of different challenges by skill. They have by, They have their free version, which basically you don't have access to Figma files. And I think when you do the pro version, you get more access to more projects. The pricing, obviously, plan is free. Then they have pricing. Oh, I love you, Northern Chimp. I'm going to tear up a little bit. This is why I stream on YouTube, like, because I don't make any money on YouTube, which is whatever. It's like, doesn't matter. But the reason why I stream is for comments like this. My cure for tutorial hell is you coding after 30. I love all of you. And so the whole point of this channel is because I made so many mistakes. I struggled so much, and I want to give back to the community to kind of be like, hey, listen, don't listen to me, but this is what I did, and this is where I failed. And if there's something cool to help me and I want to share with you, I will do it. And what I will say this, caveat: one day, if this YouTube channel somehow does pay for my coffee or pay for my rent, that'll be fantastic. But it's not the goal, because my main goal is to continue to improve as a developer so I could work my day job. And right now I work at Strappy, the greatest CMS ever. Like, I do have to plug the company because if you know this channel, you know I'm all about Strappy. So Strappy allows you to literally create an API within 5 minutes. They have an amazing UI that you have here that allows you to build collection types to respond and return the data to your project to be consumed on the front end. And okay, I plugged the place that I work. Fantastic. Let's come back to what we were doing. So the front end mentors, you have these challenges, and what I was saying is that instead of doing tutorials, jump in and start doing these challenges. Start with newbie, start with junior. And what I would say is, if you could comfortably do newbie, junior, and they have intermediate challenges, you're definitely ready to get hired. And I think definitely start applying once you do some newbie and junior challenges, create a few projects for your portfolio, and then start working intermediate and start applying. I think that will be really, really amazing. I know we had some comments. Let me take a look. And then let me go back to my comment view here. Devzilla here says, hello, sir. I have been learning front-end development for 5 months, and I have learned HTML, CSS, Sass, Bootstrap, and also learned basic JavaScript. What should I do next and when to apply? So what I would say, definitely build a project with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I'll show you a very simple project that I built for my portfolio. And you should be able to build a simple site like that. So let me log into my Netlify, and I will showcase for you. And make sure that you build something from scratch. And it's good that you're familiar with like NPM and Git, because that's really important for just the basic workflow. You don't need to be oh, God damn it, I hit the wrong button. You don't have to be an expert, but you need to understand how to set up a basic dev environment. So I'm going to show and share with you the first project that I put in my portfolio that I built. And so I'm going to tell you, so you just finished learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this is, let me share my screen again. So this is what I would recommend. This is the first project I built. It's a single, it's a page built only with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Write all your CSS from scratch. Do not use Bootstrap for this particular project. And by the way, moving forward, I would recommend, like, not saying forget Bootstrap, because I don't want to, like, as I use Bootstrap forever, and I was a late Tailwind adapter, but I now do Tailwind. So before I'll give you my recommendation, Devzilla, the first thing I want to do, because you finish HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, the thing that a lot of people want to do is they want to jump to another tutorial. Don't do it. What you need to do is take the knowledge you acquired and build something simple like this. Literally, you could build a single page like this with HTML, CSS, working on the layout. And what I did, I just found the Figma file, or I literally went on to ThemeForest, right? So I'll show you how you find design ideas on the cheap. You go to ThemeForest, right? You type landing page or whatever, it doesn't matter. And then like hey, this is $64. I don't have $64 to pay for that. So you just hit the live preview button, right? And boom, here's the landing page, right? Okay, let's look some examples here. Here's the landing page. And then you just save this link for your reference. And then basically you work on building this. Here's one little pro tip for all of you. The cool part I like about this, you're like, man, I'm not sure how the hell did they do this? Like, how did they like create it? Like this little card component, you could inspect and you could use this little thingy and you could click, you could select the thingy, right? Select. My computer's so wonky today. And then you could take a look at the underlying HTML structure of all the different elements that they used. And then you also get to see and use this as reference. Don't just copy and paste. You could kind of see like the CSS they did. And then what's cool, you could actually play around like, you know, within the code here, like by adding, be like, oh, what does background blue do? Oh, that makes a blue background. Oh, that's cool. What does color do? Oh, it makes the text white. That's kind of cool. Maybe we need to throw some more padding into it. Let's do that. Oh, maybe we want to add radius. Well, border radius. And so what I like about it is like trying out CSS inside, and maybe this color is not cool. Like let's do a cooler color. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so you could try out exploring what other people did without having to spend money on Figma or buying templates, whatever, because you have the code available for you. So that's pro tip number one. So you could get an idea like this. And this is what I did for my first portfolio project that I built here. I found like a layout and I basically went, build the navigation, build my hero section, build about me section, build my services section, build my portfolio, my experience. It is responsive. It is responsive because in 2023, you definitely need to make sure that you're building sites that are responsive. And so you should be able to build something simple. And I didn't go heavy on JavaScript. For your first project, don't go super heavy on JavaScript, but do very simple implementation. This is your first project. So the JavaScript code that I have controls, watch, it hides and it shows up. On scroll, it hides and then it shows up. On scroll, it hides and then it shows up. And then the other JavaScript thing I did, which is kind of important thing. So if you're going to start implementing JavaScript somewhere, start with form validation. So for instance, if I try to submit the form, it'll say, no, you can't submit the form. Like you could reset, it will reset the errors. Okay, we need the name, we need the phone number. If I just do gibberish submit, it's not gonna work because you need to make sure that you have a numerical phone number and it automatically turns green once complete. It's same, you can't do blabber for email. And I'm using some sort of, like in this case, I ended up finding some basic regex patterns for me to make sure that I could test for proper email. And apparently, Paul Bosowski at gmail.com. See, boom, correct email, JavaScript in the background checks. I'm using regex to kind of make sure that people provide valid emails and don't do something crazy. But definitely if you're learning JavaScript, start without not doing something crazy, but start with form validation. And then you could submit and they'll say, great success, you submitted the form, and then they'll reset the form. So that'll be the first project. So until coming back to your wonderful question, Devzilla, and yeah, and I agree, that is a cool name, let me go back to my chatting window here with the music on. And so to answer your question, hello, sir, I've been learning front-end development like for months, and I have learned HTML, CSS, Sass, Bootstrap, and also learned basic JavaScript. What should I do next? Next, start building your HTML, CSS, JavaScript project similar to what I just showed you and complete it. Once it's done, put it into your portfolio. After that, next step is if you're looking to get hired as a front-end developer, everybody has opinions. People like, learn Vue, learn whatever, learn. I would say learn React first, and then take the project that you just built, the one that I just demonstrated. So don't recreate stuff. So I'm a big believer working on things that are in steps. So you based on the feedback that I just gave you, you're going to build HTML, CSS, and JavaScript basic project like this. Fantastic. The next thing you should do is learn React and then take this project and convert it to use React. And the second portion, you could start discovering how to get this data dynamically. What I recommend is, instead of creating your own backend, I use something like Strapi, which allows you to get nice REST API output. And what I would say is, for that React second project that you build, get that data from that API from using a CMS like Strapi. There's many others. I really like Strapi. And once you learn React, what I would recommend next is to learn Next.js with TypeScript. Yes, it's going to be a lot, but TypeScript is something that's becoming really, really popular, and that's what I would say. I hope that answered your questions. And if you have any other questions, let me know. Let me take a look at the comments first before chatting, before looking at the Figma files that front-end mentors provide, and talk about why I love front-end mentors. And Artur, what's up? I love Artur. He's been a long time supporter, amazing guy. Man, wow, human time, good event, Lord Paul. This is so sad because the only reason why it's in this time, in not my 11. So right now I started streaming at 3 p.m. So we're about to hit a hour mark. But I normally stream 11 a.m. CST time. But the reason why I have this good time for you, Artur, today is because I couldn't fall asleep because I drank too much coffee. So I overslept and I kind of pushed the stream for this later time. Interesting though, I'm going to have to reconsider streaming, but I still think I'll keep it to 11 a.m. for me, unfortunately, because I don't want to break my day up too much. I'm assuming this is a conversation about your I don't even know what that's about. I gotta catch up on my conversation here. Richard, it's great. Okay, I'm losing context for what. Oh, I'm sure that Mr. Richard Selman will disagree with you. I don't mind disagreements. You know, like the thing I would say. Here's the thing that I would say. Here, like, Artur focuses on PHP, and a lot of like hate on PHP. Here's the thing. There's a lot of PHP jobs, right? And what I would have to say, pick a thing that you're excited about to learn. For me, it's all JavaScript and React. I'm not going to lie to you. This is what I love, and I might be biased, but I used to build WordPress templates with HTML and PHP and JavaScript. So, and there's definitely opportunities, and there's great arguments. Even Coding Face made a bunch of videos where he talks about why PHP is still a good thing to learn. And what I would say is figure out what jobs people are more of in your area that you live in, and focus on learning those technologies. But for me, the whole idea is like, there's so many paths that you could go. I just chose front end with React and JavaScript because that was the fastest way for me to get hired. And there's a bunch of people, a lot of people that are part of my community who also started getting hired. They did it following similar approach by really focusing on front end with React and JavaScript. So I think my Figma file opened, and just to bring it back to our context, what I'm trying to kind of talk about, we talked about React Play before, and now we're talking about front end mentors. And this is a cool site for you because you are able to improve your coding skills by building real projects, which sounds simple, and it really is awesome. This is something that I've been kind of pushing. It's like, to get out of tutorial hell, you literally have to stop doing tutorials. After completing 1 to 5 tutorials, like no more than 5 tutorials, you literally don't need more than 5 tutorials. Stop doing tutorials, start building projects from scratch. And I didn't use this website, and I'm ashamed to admit it because I learned about it really late, but I've seen people that have been using him, and after taking a look, and I'm going to start doing it and making videos around the things that I built and sharing with you to promote this website even more. I'm not sponsored by this website. I just think for you, looking to get out of tutorial hell, you need to build things. You need to build things. You need to build things. You need to build things from scratch. This is why every Friday night I live code building my project devhunt.io from scratch. It is painful, but that's the pain you have to embrace as a developer, because you'll never be having a simple path to start to finish. There's always going to be bugs. There's always going to be issues. And that's the beauty of learning to code, is to learn to do that. And what's cool about this is you're able to check out all these different projects. And what's awesome, when you pick a project, they give you a brief. Let's take a look at this one. They give you a brief, what they want you to do. If you have a pro membership, you're going to get Figma files. And this is something that I just downloaded and for the thing that we're building. And we picked a very simple project. The hell, this is not the button I clicked. How do you zoom in? I don't know how to use my computer. So here's the funny part. A lot of people like, how did Paul become a developer? I have no idea. I guess I just never gave up. By the way, it took me a very long time. So it happens. Oh, Jesus. Paul doesn't know how. So here's the thing. When using Figma, I used the web version, but for some reason I decided to download the this version. Let me zoom out here. So here's the thing. This is awesome. You get the brief, and this is kind of exactly what you'll be doing at work. You're going to a brief. You're going to get a mock-up of the thing that you want to work, and you could explore. Let me click a clickety thing. You could select different areas and see, kind of like what they're using, the pixels, like the width, the height, because what you want to learn and get better at is creating, zoom in too much, is creating your layout as close to pixel perfect as possible. So whatever they recommend, the font they recommend, you want to use in the project. And, they showcase on the side here kind of what they're doing, but you could literally see and check, okay, this is 29.5 by 92. You could see, on the right here, and I got to play with Figma more. To be honest, I'm not an expert at Figma. I used to do Adobe XD, but you should be able to see like the padding they gave and all this other stuff. And you could then rebuild this yourself from scratch. And this is how you get out from tutorial hell. And this is why I want to continue to recommend Front-End Mentors. I have the pro subscription. They have their free plan. They have their $8 a month plan. I went with their $12 a month plan. And if anybody knows any Figma alternatives, please let us know, because I know there's plenty of people that live in countries where you just can't even pay $12 a month. It'll be nice to have an alternative. So, but now though, because we have premium, we could take a look at some other cool challenges. We have intermediate challenge here. Let's take a look. Again, you have oh my gosh, they want you to create a desktop design, a table design, and a mobile design. That's kind of cool. You get the assets, you get the mobile tablet and desktop layouts, personal design system of colors. And this is kind of cool because you get access to things that allow you to simulate what it would be like when you're working, on a project. And this is kind of cool. And then you get to submit your solution and other people could review it, leave comments. And I love that social aspect of it. So today, just to sum up, and I want to open it to questions more or less, and I see Arturo got some good comments going on, is get out of tutorial hell. And the best way to do it is to use websites like Front-End Mentor, which force you to build something from scratch. And another website that we looked at, reactplay.io, is another one where you get to create little mini React projects and share them with the community. And what's awesome, whenever you post a project, and Engine Boy uses this. This is how I discovered this website, is through Engine Boy. And he's also one of the contributors to the project. So he helps out doing PR review codes. And that is awesome. And yeah, and so this is really, really great place for you. So this is absolutely free. So if you want to practice building mini projects from scratch, go here, create your own play. This is like really, really, really awesome and exciting because you participate in a community, you're building with other people. This is absolutely free. So it could kind of be an alternative to the previous site, Front-End Mentors. Too lazy to type, but I guess typing is better, and Front-End Mentors. And again, the most important thing that we want to do is get out of tutorial hell as fast as possible. So if you're stuck in tutorial hell, you try to figure out a cure, you need to start building projects from scratch. And this is what I recommend. And I always tell people, but a lot of times when you start building projects from scratch on your own, you don't know where to start. So that becomes its own struggle. So I haven't used front-end mentors. I'm going to start using it because I want to keep making videos around front-end mentors to promote it to more people, because I think the biggest disservice I could tell people is to keep referring courses to them to keep taking and to keep them stuck in tutorial hell. Like, find 1 through 5 courses. Find one HTML, CSS course, one JavaScript course, one React course, one Next.js course, whatever, one Node.js course, and start building projects based on what you learn. Don't take any more courses. And I always recommend John Smilga, Coding Addict courses, but there's plenty of other good courses that you could find. Depends on what you like to use. And I use many different platforms. I use not front-end mentors, but front-end, I forgot what's the other one, front-end masters. Front-end masters I use, which is very pricey. I, of course, use YouTube. I use Udemy. Udemy is one of my favorite ones. Find the courses that you're working on and stuff like that. And this is all good, but don't need to take more than one HTML, CSS course, more than one JavaScript course. Why would you take 5 JavaScript courses? They all teach you the same similar things. What I would say is focus on taking one course and then supplementing your knowledge through Googling and building things from scratch and getting stuck and failing through stuff. And this is the project that I'm building from scratch. It's slowly coming along. We have our nice dashboard section. You're able to pin projects and pin projects, that's coming along. You could view your projects. You're able to add tasks. I just added the notes feature, but I didn't push it, so this doesn't reflect the changes, but you're dynamically able to add that. So basically the point is I'm forcing myself to build stuff from scratch as well, even though I'm already employed, because the most important part, you're able to add it like your profile information. The most important part that I'm trying to stress here is that you need to focus on forcing yourself to build stuff from scratch. So I think this is great. I think we'll stop here for now and take a look at some questions and have some chat for the remainder of the stream, because I want to, of course, answer your questions, and we'll bring the music back on. And so Artur had a couple of things he said. Yeah, this is very important. This is something that I do usually talk on these streams as well. If you know me, Artur says, someone said that in development, large part is soft skills. I can't agree enough. When you speak to people nicely and clearly, they're happy to help you out and they're happy to work with you. And you're going to be the last person to get fired for sure. If you're really nice, polite, you have the intuition, my brain is losing words today. You're motivated to learn, you're constantly learning things, they're going to keep you just because you're nicer. And I've had this happen to me. Is it fair? No, because they're most likely fire someone who's, by the way, if there's layoffs, there's layoffs. There's nothing you can do. But in terms of if there's Bob and Joe, Bob is way better than Joe, but Bob is a jerk. But Joe's really nice. And he's not as good as Bob, but he does his job and he's always learning new things. They're going to, keep him around. And so they're very good point. And then another thing he says, language is secondary to general knowledge about how things work. Language are pretty similar. And that's true. By choosing one language and learning it well and picking up that general knowledge about programming through one language, picking up a second language will be really good. I'll give you an example. I was reviewing some articles for something that I'm doing, and they were using not Kotlin, Flutter. They built a front-end application with Flutter, and I don't know Flutter, but the fact that I'm familiar with programming in general, I was able to open up the Flutter project and kind of follow along within reason without knowing Flutter. So it's a very, very, very important point. And yeah, if anyone has questions, let me know, because I'd love to chat with you. And by the way, some people I can't ask a question in chat because it says you need to be a subscriber. So this is something I'm testing out. So I wanted to do for my live streams, to do basically any video that I'll have you able to comment, but I do these live streams, and most of the people that do watch the live streams are subscribers. And so I wanted to do something special for subscribers. And so anybody that's a subscriber of the channel, they're able to add comments to the stream. And I know like it's a very polarizing like decision, but I wanted to give something to those of you who support me, like a little, it's not a big thing, it's like a little thing, like, hey, you support the channel, you're involved, and so I'm gonna make my live stream only for subscribers, you know what I mean? Because I want to give you, like, I want to value your time, you coming in. I don't want just somebody who's not a subscriber come in and leave comments. You could do it on my videos. You could do it like whatever. Maybe I'll do a Q&A stream, you know, that will be open to all. But for now, I want to do all my streaming for subscribers only and stuff like that. And so hate me or love me, that's kind of the decision I'm making for now. And DevZilla says, do we need to practice coding problems and the resource? So this is the thing that I want to say with you, DevZilla. So your question, you like, I learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript. What should I do next? And most people will start like, let me go do algorithms. Let me go do the one cool thing that you could do for fun and not make a big deal out of it. Actually, let me share it here with you is I love Code Wars. It's like really cool. It's it's very like beginner friendly, and it's general kind of good, like, hey, I want to take a break from coding, let me do something cool for fun, but don't make a big deal of it. Don't like say I'm gonna start doing you know, coding challenges and doing like lead code and algorithms, because that's not important for you right now. It's literally not important for you. But I do want to share and Arthur says, don't worry, most of the time I can't see you as work too. Okay, this is something. Okay, I got it. That's a comment for someone else. Blah blah blah. I lost context with that comment, but do we need to practice? And so what I would say here is, like, if you want to practice some code stuff, use Code Wars and treat it as like, whenever you take a break from programming, use it as something as like fun time to explore some coding challenges, right? But don't make it a priority, and I'll tell you why now. So like coming back to your point, DevZilla, you said, hey, I learned a little HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What should be my next step? And like I said, most people, they're too eager to move on to something else before building. Yes, it's called Code Wars. You could go to codewars.com. I'll put the link for us here. And it's basically little challenges that you could do. And so what I would do, and yeah, let's start with Artur's comment here, and then we'll talk about like my recommendation. Just do the course and apply it to the website that you're making. Make a website for someone and apply for a job. Take coding exercise and try to implement. Yeah, exactly. But to give like a more structured approach that I do is, number one, let me actually share this with you because you're new here. I'll quickly share this with you. I have this something that I did for myself, and I'll quickly review it to you again. It's in Mirror, and I'll share it here as well. And it's not the God's truth here. It's something that I am. It's something that I did for myself to help me, like, okay, like if I'm going to focus on, like, when you learn to code, you need to have structure. And so let me, before I share this, kind of like say this, and you need to have a path. And I'll actually like answer the question and chat about it, okay? I think this will be good. So this is a mirror I created, and I'll share this in the comments for people to check out. And this is not, and Rodriguez already using that fantastic map and in the CSS section for fantastic. And again, this is not God's truth to the path. You could change it and review it, but the thing that I want to show here for all of you and DevZilla to answer your question is that this forces you from jumping around doing stupid stuff. For instance, like you could have learned HTML, CSS, not build a project that I'm describing in this step here, and started doing algorithms, and that would literally
not be useful to you at the level that you're in. So what I recommend people, the path that they practice is you learn a skill, you build all the projects in the tutorial, and I'll walk you through it. Let me start at the beginning. I'm jumping around a lot. So the first thing you do, decide what you want to learn. So for me, I decided that I'm going to be a React developer, and that was my thing. And so now this already streamlined the things that I have to learn. And so I decide, next step, I decided, what do I need to learn? And this could change for you. I'm just using this as an example for me. I'm like, okay, I need to know HTML, CSS, and Sass. I need to know JavaScript. I need to know React. I need to know Next.js. I need to know TypeScript. And you could probably get away without having these. But I think moving forward now, a lot of people, you know, like to see that you are familiar with Next.js. And yes, a lot of people are starting to jump on the TypeScript language. So this is why I added here. And then definitely be and understand the process of how to consume an API and understand the big picture overview of what databases are, like what type of databases are there, you know, relationship versus non-relationship, like SQL versus, you know, MongoDB. And then once you decide that, you know, pick one resource to learn the thing you want to learn. And this is what I would recommend is, okay, you need to learn HTML, CSS, and Sass. Pick one course, do the course, get one resource, buy one course, complete it fully means build all the projects within that course, commit all that stuff to GitHub. So now not only do you have one course that you completed completely, you now have a bunch of projects that you made following along the course. You can't put them in your portfolio, but you will replace it as soon as you do the next step. The next step for anybody listening, let me say this on the big screen. Whenever, you don't have to listen to me, but if you want to make progress, the next step, and Sass is not essential, but people should know it. But we could argue, but it's not essential. You're right. But a lot of companies use Sass. So, and it's not a big stretch to go from CSS to learn Sass. It's not that big deal. It's just, let me just say, introduce yourself to Sass. You don't have to be a master of it, okay? But a good point, Artur. But this is the big thing that I want to say to you. After you complete a tutorial, if you jump to another, no, do not, I'm so triggered. If you want to trigger me, say, Paul, I just did a tutorial and then I went to another tutorial. That will trigger me really hard because you just missed the most important part of learning that will solidify what you learn. And this is what I'm going to talk about here in a minute. So once you complete a tutorial, don't go to another tutorial right away. And if you haven't completed a tutorial, I could tell you what you're doing is that you found another tutorial and you start another tutorial. And then you didn't complete that tutorial because you found another tutorial. You didn't, no. Take a tutorial, take it 100% to completion, complete all the projects within that tutorial. And you could use, you know, get one class, one tutorial, complete all the projects, put it all on GitHub. You could add those projects to your portfolio. But the second must-do step is the build step. This is where you take the knowledge that you learned from the course and you apply it to the website that you're building. And now what you have is you have a HTML, CSS project that you completed from scratch, and then you put it in your portfolio. And in your portfolio, you might have a section of project built myself and projects built by following tutorials. I wouldn't even put that like once you have your own projects. And only then, once you build the project from scratch, only then would you move to your second course. So the second course I recommend in my roadmap, learn JavaScript. Learn, complete one resource, one JavaScript course. Complete it completely, 100%, build all the projects. Okay, everybody in the comments together or in your mind, say to me, Paul, what, okay, everybody, what do you do after you complete a tutorial? If you don't want to get the Will Smith treatment, and it's not learn Vim. You don't learn Vim after you complete the tutorial. I still don't know Vim. I think that's a very interesting conversation we could have, but man, I don't want to call you an elitist, Artur. Let's not go that route. You don't need to learn Vim unless you want to. There are benefits that people live by. I don't know Vim at all. And whenever, like, it's fine. But build thing from scratch, implementing the knowledge that you learn, and then you follow that process. And I guarantee you, after you complete your roadmap, right? Maybe it'll take you 6 months to a year. It's fine. Forget that I got hired in 3 months. I got hired in 3.5, almost 4 years. I started diligently learning to code at 36, and I got my first job at 39. It took me forever, like, right? So hopefully it's because I didn't have this roadmap that I decided for myself. I was stuck in tutorial hell and blah, 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 blah. But if you want to save time, you don't have to follow my exact roadmap, and you could fill this out in any way you want, right? But have a goal and an outline that locks you down on your path. Like schools have curriculums, they don't randomly teach you stuff. So why are you randomly taking tutorials? Don't make it random. Get this roadmap, modify it to your, like clone it, modify it to your desired needs. Like I sent a link, I'll put the link again in the chat. This is public. Go ahead and learn, build, apply. Learn, build, apply. I used to have a YouTube channel that no longer exists. It wasn't for the public. It was for me to take this concept, how I should, my iteration circle, my feedback circle, in terms of having proper learning. And it was learn, build, apply. Learn, build. This is how I would convert. It was like that channel was called Learn, Apply, Achieve. Learn, Apply, Achieve. But if I had to change it to web, it's learn, build, apply. Learn, build, apply, right? Learn, build a thing that you did, and apply to the future thing. And you are welcome. And let's see if anyone has any other questions. Otherwise, we could wind down this stream. And again, next week, I'm going to come back to the normal schedule. So typically, I stream, by the way, you're watching Coffee Code and Chat, so thank you for watching that show. I stream twice, Friday, 9 p.m. CST time, where I do live coding, and then 11 a.m. CST time, where we talk about the soft skills required and little tips and things that could help you get to your goal faster. Because I am some random dude. Like, go back, watch my previous videos. Like, look up my oldest video, like that I did, and the talks that I gave. I'm literally talking about getting hired without even having a job yet, and I'm talking about my journey. You're not too loud, Artur. I always love you in the conversation, because I may not agree with your Vim statement, but somebody else might want to try it out and do it. No, always welcome, always a pleasure. This community, I much rather have a lot of people give and be part of a conversation, because it's not just me that cares about the feedback. It's other people in the chat, in the community, and I might not agree with your thing, but it could be something that will help somebody else. So for me, 100%, like, as long as everybody is positive, or even giving constructive criticism and not like being like, you suck, you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's like as long as it's a positive conversation, I'm fine. And to be honest, I will not at the point, but at some point I might explore Vim, because there are, certain, like you said, it's a gray brain opener. You know what I mean? I'm just not at that stage yet. But at the same time, what I would say is there a lot of people with lots of good thoughts and opinions. And the point is, you don't have to take what I say. You could take what somebody else said and apply it. The biggest caveat I would say, don't switch opinions based on just like every 5 minutes. You need to create, and this is why I created this roadmap for myself, is that you need to create structure for your learning, and you have a structured path and approach, and don't deviate from it. You could adjust things like on your journey, right? Like maybe I'll change like what course I chose or like whatever I did, but do not deviate from your plan, because otherwise you'll be pulling yourself into too many directions and you're not going to accomplish much. And I shared this link in the chat, so go ahead and get it, check it out. And with that being said, I guess if there's not any more questions, I'll wait like a minute or two, like see if there's questions. And while we wait for some questions to come in, I want to thank everybody, Artur jumping on, Devzilla, MC Rodriguez jumping on, Matthias, I can't pronounce the name, Northern Chimp, everybody jumping on. Richard was here, Sharon, Sahid, I'm sorry, Sahid. I mean, this is why I do this for the community, and this is why I decided to make the stream subscriber only, because I really want to have these streams be something special for the people that are part of the community. And MC Rodriguez says, I'm following your roadmap. I am in the HTML CSS section, went through a Udemy course. Should I set aside time for front-end mentor? Just finish the course first. Yeah, so what I would say a good time to do front-end mentors is once you complete HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, once you complete React, once you complete, like once you have like that hireable skill set, like you can do things with HTML, CSS, but I would say you need React. Most companies, they do want you to know some sort of front-end framework. So for you, like Rodriguez, what I would say, and that's a good question, by the way, I should have been more about it. Once you could build things, or you understand, not like completely, right? You're still like, JavaScript, React, like the whole workflow of like, okay, if to have a website, I'm going to use React or Next.js. And then once you know that and you try to find ideas, then you could use front-end mentors. But right now, what I would recommend for you is complete the HTML, CSS course that you're doing, then take a JavaScript course, complete that, build your project based on what you learned, then take a React class, complete that React class based on what you learned, and then you could, at that point, you could start supplementing. And again, you use that as a way to get ideas, to practice things to build. In my very first video, you were learning React starting from official documentation. Would you recommend? What I would do is the approach that I take is while taking a React tutorial, use the documentation as a reference, right? So if you're learning React from a course, use the documentation as reference. So what I do, like right now, like I'm building a lot of remix projects. I did take one remix course from Can't See Dots on his YouTube channel, but I do also use heavily the documentation. So if you're taking a course on a specific technology, use the documentation in parallel. But I wouldn't say use documentation as the only resource, because it's very hard to do that, because you need some context around the thing that you're using. Very good question, Northern Chimp. And yeah, like let's see any more other questions. I will never make Udemy my own tutorials because there's too many good ones around. What I would much rather do, and I'm actually working on one, I'll let you know when it's out. I'm building a Next.js. Actually, I could show you what I'm building here. And it will be available. So I like to, instead of like, I don't want to sell tutorials. That's something I decided. Like if people want to support me, like what I want to do is, have some sort of like I have like buy me coffee thing that people don't have to use. But if people want to support me, they could use that. Maybe like I'll have the like another like at $4 a month or $2.99 a month, whatever it is. You could be part of the like Circle community that I have that's free for now to join. So if you want to be part of the Circle community, you could email me at codingafter30@gmail.com and also provide your GitHub like repo username or whatever. So like you need to have a GitHub account as a bare minimum. But I'm gonna show you the course that I'm building, and it's not gonna be on Udemy because I don't wanna. Yeah, actually, let me share my email. So if anybody wants to join the community coding, and it literally is free right now to join, but you do need to share your GitHub link, codingafter30@gmail.com. And the point it's free now is because I'm too lazy to make it paid at $2.99, and if or whatever the price range would be, doesn't matter. But I think like to have people support me, I don't want to create tutorials. I want to make the tutorials free and then share with people, because I don't want that to have barrier to entry. And also there's so many good tutorials already. I can't compete with them. There's like John Smilga makes some amazing tutorials, zero to mastery, and just Udemy has so many tutorials. So I don't want to be in that business. Instead, I want to have a community that brings you value that could possibly be a paid thing. And then I'm building Dev Hunt. That's going to be some sort of SaaS project. That's not anywhere near. Forget Discord. I'm not a big fan of Discord. I'm so sorry, Artur. I gave up on my Discord channel. Shame on me. Shame on me. I know. But building Dev Hunt community that is going to have like a free feature, is going to have and then somehow figure out how to monetize it. But I want to basically build a service like that brings value to you. You could do a brilliant tutorial of PHP. I know, it's a very good thing. And I can if I like. Yeah, I know, you're hilarious. But PHP is awesome. I just want to put it out there that I don't hate PHP, even though I'm a big React and JavaScript fanboy. So like the way I want to provide value on my YouTube channel is to have a paid community, if you don't want to be part of the paid community, wait for you to donate if you want to support what I do. And then also have this website provide some sort of value that will be monetized. Maybe it'll be monetized by having resources that are affiliate links. Maybe I'll have some sort of value. But initially, a lot of the stuff, once I get basic functionality for the users, is going to be free. And I'm going to monetize it not by charging you money, but by monetizing the traffic that I get to it. But that's how I want to do it. So that is a thing that I'm doing. So it is what it is. So I'm not going to be making tutorials. But in terms of tutorials, I'm building this project here. Let me share my screen. I am sharing my screen already. And I'm going to show you how to make a dynamic landing page by using Next.js and Strappy. And that's going to be, I'm going to first do an intro video, which focuses on the Strappy portion of it. And then I'll probably make a tutorial how to build this layout as well. And I want to literally participate with other people. And so all the tutorials I make, I share with other YouTubers. And so I'm going to share this on Coding Addict channel, because I don't want to be all about myself. I want to be all about the community. And then I also did one on Coding Phase, YouTube, Strappy, I think. I don't know if he used those keywords. I think he did. So here it is. I made a video for, I have ads on my own channel. Hilarious.
Let's
I made
explore
a
your future
tutorial
with Udemy.
that I shared with Coding Phase.
It's your boy. Wait,
and I show how to allow you to basically go from an HTML template, how to convert it to React components and build a project that is powered by Strappy backend. And so like I might try to do tutorials like either free or to do tutorials to share with other community members and spread the love. And to monetize my channel, I'm going to figure out another way and not using tutorials. So I know that was like a long rant, but I just wanted to share that because I want to be like really open of what I'm doing. So my monetization strategy, you could donate by buy me coffee if you want. You don't have to. Number two is maybe one day have a paid community, which is going to be like fairly, like it'll be cheap. And then number three, I'm going to have my website that's going to be free for the developers, but I'm going to monetize, you know, the traffic to the website, you know what I mean? And other ways. And that's kind of like my path for now. And if people don't have any questions and I see, Matthias, send me an email and I will share it. And by the way, just so you know, I'll show you the community that I'm doing. To be honest with you, if you haven't followed my channel for a while, I did take a long time off my doing YouTube, and I also took time for my community. I haven't gotten back. I'm gonna definitely come back. I'm gonna come back for sure in January, but we do have members, and let me sign in and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'll share this with you. This is the community that we have. It's free to join now. Eventually this is going to be paid community. What is happening? It's all customized home. And so let me share it here. And if you want to jump in here, become members, just send me email at codingafter30 and provide your GitHub link. But this is our community. I haven't been here. So let me just saying hello. I am still alive. Will be getting back full board, full in after New Year. Thank you for understanding. And there's conversation in the community from our members, by the way. The fact that I'm not here, it's still like working, and happening, but I'll be back and I'll do some special things that I like to do here. We have like a cool resource page where people like share cool things. Honestly, like I will shout out to Tammy. Tammy is literally like the community leader. She's really keeping this community going. I really love her. Thank her so much for doing that. And we have, Spearbell, like there's people still engaging. Engine Boy, people are engaging. And so I'll be back full bore, but I just want to show you it does exist. And if you want to become members for free right now, we have 39 members. Go to coding, email me at codingafter30@gmail.com, and also send me your GitHub. You need to have a GitHub in order to join. And so this is cool, and we'll be, getting into it more so here. But I wanted to show you that it's here. But honestly, I haven't been on here for a while because I had a really bad year and stuff that happened to me. And I don't know, Sharon, Tammy is amazing. Love everything we're doing. And I think that did my stream freeze? I'm not sure if it did. I think, no, maybe it didn't. Maybe like I'm looking at too many screens. I'm like, my stream froze. That's the video that I was just showing everyone. But yeah, and so back to the music talking head video. So that's the key. So go ahead, join the community. I'll be back in there after New Year's. But if people are wondering, like I haven't been lazy. I'm not gonna do my everybody has hardships in life, but I really had two major devastating things happen to me. I don't even know how I recovered. I'm not gonna tell whatever. It's no point talking about it because everybody has issues. But the point is not an excuse. But go join the community if you like. Send me email to codingafter30. And yeah, anyway. And since we don't have any more questions, I just want to thank everybody who's been here. Sharon, Artur, Matthias, MC Rodriguez, Northern Chimp. Everybody who was participating. Devzilla, I'm glad to have you as a new subscriber. Welcome. Okay, Mateus already mentioned. We had Sahid. And of course, Sharon. And so thank you. Love all of you. I do this because I really enjoy this community aspect and sharing what I do. And hopefully it's helping all of you to get there. One of our original members, Kit Kat, Katya, she started with me before I even had, I only had 100 subscribers when she started. And back then we had a Slack community, and it was amazing to see her learn to code, follow some of my recommendations, and get hired. And now she's been working as a developer for almost a year and a half. Would love to have a stream with her. But with that being said, thank you so much. I really enjoyed. I stream, of course, every Friday and Saturday. And this has been Coffee, Code, and Chat. And all of you have a great rest of the weekend. And thank you, Sharon, saying this is one of my favorite channels. And I'm glad that there's some benefit that you all getting from here. And I love you all. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the weekend, evening, morning, sleeping time, wherever you are, which time zone you are. And I'll chat with everybody later. Thanks so much, and I'm out.